Okay, welcome to Sculpting Day. We're going to be doing some strength focus and some core work in between. I want you to have a set of weights or two, maybe go a little heavier if you can. We're going to be doing some shoulders. We'll do a little bit of everything, but we're definitely do some shoulders. So anything that you're going to take overhead, just keep that in mind. And with your bicep curls, you can typically go a little heavier on the bicep curls, maybe not as heavy on your overhead, depending on what weight you're using. If it's very heavy for you, it's always determined by what you feel is right for you. Okay, so I'm going to start, let's just start with a little warm up before we get into anything else. Also grab a resistance band. So if you happen to have a resistance band, take it. If you don't, you can do the whole thing without it, that's okay. We're gonna start with some basic little squats. So just having a seat back and coming up. So we start pretty gentle, not going too deep necessarily. Your feet are about hip or shoulder distance apart. I like mine about shoulder distance to give plenty of space to send those hips back. Deep breath and come up. So I want you to really dig down through your big toes. Notice how the back is staying nice and straight, so you're not overarching, sticking your booty back there, or kind of rounding when you're coming down. Okay, so just really set those hips back. Check out your knees, making sure they're not moving forward. So if you're kind of pumping it down like this, those knees are what's going forward. Here we want the hips to go back. You're going to sit down, come up. Let's try about 4 more just like this. So inhale, exhale up, 3 and 2, last 1. Now right here, just high knees. Bring those knees up. Big deep breath. So sweep the arms up and now just bring the elbows down. So just a little kind of pull down with your elbows, a little lap pull. Slightly back behind the waistline or behind your rib cage. Just a little squeeze. Starting to activate in the upper back and the shoulders. Good. So as you're marching, really pull those elbows down like you've got a hold of something and you're making like a big W shape with your arms. Okay, so let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a pause. Elbows are out. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders back, and then exhale, pull the elbows to center. Okay, so inhale, open, and exhale, close. I want you to try to bring your elbows together, not your hands. So try to aim the elbows to each other. There you go. Inhale, exhale. 4 more. 3, ribs stay down, core connected. 2, and 1. Release it. Good job. Now just swing the arms a few times. Big circles. Open it up and go front to back. All right, so from here also making sure that you loosen up through the neck. Those shoulders tend to tense up. So I want you to really focus on keeping that space right at the base of your neck relaxed. So our first move with weights or weighted objects, I'm going to take my gloves just because it makes me look super cool, but that's not really why. My hands sweat a lot, but also these weights that I have kind of a rough texture. So always feel free, if you don't use weight, or if the weights that you use kind of bother your hands, or if you tend to sweat a lot, to use those gloves. Okay, so I'm going to take a band, bring that up around the legs, or this is going to be for our squat. You don't have to use a band, but if you have it, take it and just bring it right above your knees, okay? So that you can kind of push into it. Now I'm going to take 1 set of weights. We're going to be doing a squat and then an overhead press. So choose your weights accordingly to pressing overhead. Okay, so I'm going fairly heavy today. So just for your reference, these are 20s. You may go a different weight, but make sure that it's the right one for you. So this is kind of my top weight that I have. So this is what I'm using today. Okay, so we're going to bring those weights up. I want you to just hold them here at your shoulders. Okay, so your band, if you've got it just above your knees, having a seat back and kind of push into the band and sit down. Okay, come back up and then press. Okay, inhale, come down, exhale, and press. Now when you press, those shoulders are sliding down the back, the shoulder blades, and you're keeping that space around your neck relaxed. Deep breath, sit back. So come into as deep of a squat as you can. Inhale. So those weights should not be easy to lift overhead. It should be a little bit more challenging by the time we get to the last 2 or 3. Okay, so we're coming up on that right now. Breathe in, ribs stay in. Exhale. 3. Deep breath. Press it up. 2. Last 1. And good job. I'm going to set the weights down. So let's lower down. Just set your weights down to the floor. And then we're coming down into that squat. So we're going 1.5 and up. So a little pulse. Down, pulse, and up. Down, good. Pulse, and up. Take your feet about shoulder distance. They don't need to be too close together. You should be able to push into your band if you're using it. 2 and up. Set those hips back like you're going to sit down. But no, I changed my mind. All right, have a seat. 2 and up, push into those big toes. Blow out the breath. Last 4, 2 and up, good. 3, your chest stays lifted. 1 and all the way up. Very good. All right, I'm just gonna set that off to the side for a moment. We're coming back to that, so don't take it too far. We're gonna set that right off to the side for a moment. All right, so coming down to your mat for an in-between movement here. So we'll find a tabletop position. Okay, shoulders are back. You're engaging through your core. So draw up through your rib cage and your hip points. So as though you were kind of almost moving to cat stretch, but not quite. So just the front body. Here we go. We're gonna take the left leg, flip the toes under. Once you take that left leg, lift it up, and then bring it down. So just like a little kick, switch and down. Just kicking up through the heel, bring it down. Good, your core is engaged. Now from here, I want you to take that left leg, lift it up, and with your right arm, bring your hand by your shoulder and give it a punch. Bring it down. Okay. Switch sides. So lift that left hand, punch and kick, bring it down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You're just kicking up a little higher through your heel on that kick. You start the lift, inhale, and then exhale, push. Inhale, exhale, good. Last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Now bring it back to center. Just lift up, press back, give it a stretch, and walk your hands and feet toward each other. Hands go above your knees once you make it there, and lift yourself up. Grab your strap or your band along the way, if you've got that. We're gonna take that on again. Back into those squats and overhead presses. So again, just check it out. It's just barely, it's maybe just about 3 inches above the knee line or so here, because we don't want it too close to your hip crease. So it's not too far up, and you want enough space here because so you can push into it. So if your legs are too close together, you're not gonna get a lot of push. Okay? So we want to be able to push into it while keeping the feet grounded. So taking your weights, here we go. We're gonna bring those weights up toward the shoulders first. Deep breath, have a seat. And then exhale, flip it and press. Inhale, come down, push into that band, keep your big toes grounded. Deep breath, exhale. So I want you to really focus on that exhale. This will help to engage your core. Remember on those last 3 or so, it should be a little more challenging. We're coming up on that. Okay, give me about 4 more right here. If you need to stop, you can. But we're gonna try to make it all the way through for the last 3. 2. And last 1. Whew. All right. Come down to a squat. Set your weights down. Give it a pulse. 1, 2, and bring it up. Okay. 1, 2. Your hips are moving back. You're sitting down like you're going to sit on a small chair behind you. Okay. Inhale. Good. Exhale, come up. Down, pulse, bring it up. Keeping that chest lifted, ribs in, and up. Last 4, down and up. 3, 2, and last 1. Deep breath, and back up. All right, keep your band on if you want to do that move we just did a moment ago on the mat. You want to do that with your band? Keep it on. All right, so that's your next option here. Come on back down. So we'll start back in that table position. Toes are turned under. Lift up. Now here, you may need to kind of shift or maneuver a little. Bring that band up a little higher on this one. Okay, it'll probably just move naturally on its own, but you can go ahead and adjust it if you need to. Okay, let's get busy. We're gonna keep the toes turned under. Let's lift that right leg, start to float it up. And bring that left hand by your shoulder. And now punch and kick and bring it back down. Switch. Bring it in. Switch. Every time. Inhale. Exhale. Your head is lifted. Just gazing slightly forward on your mat. Neck long. Good. Last 8. 7. You've got it. Keep that core strong. Blow out the breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Awesome work. All right. Pop it back. Stretch it out. Walk your hands and feet toward each other again. Take a little hinge and roll, or lift yourself back to standing. All right, very good. We're gonna set that band down. Whoops, maybe not that far. We're gonna set the band down. And now taking your weights again, focus is more on lower body. We did that. We did have emphasis on some lower body with our squats, but now even more so by just holding your weights to your sides. Okay, just a static or stationary lunge. So we'll start with the right foot forward and your left foot back. So just find a space here. As you step back, you've got a pretty good distance from that front foot to the back foot, depending on your leg span. Okay, you're bending that back knee, lowering down, front knee not moving forward. Okay, and bring it up. Imagine there's kind of like a little wall that's stacked right in front of your shin, and you can't move your knee past that wall. Okay, inhale, exhale, up. Deep breath, relax your shoulders. Now, I want you to really bend that back knee. Check out what's happening. Make sure you're not moving forward in your lunge. So if you tend to lean into it this way, I want you to pause, bend that back knee, just lower your body down and try not to hinge forward from your hips. Okay, so inhale, exhale, shoulders back. There's a wall behind your back as well. You're sliding down. Last 3. Deep breath. 2. So there really should be no forward movement at all with your body. That's our intention. And back up. All right, shake it out. We're going to the second side. So here, again, same thing as the other side. However, I want you just to check it out when you're doing your lunge. If you can have a mirror or check your own format. That's a great way to know what you're doing. You may not realize what's happening. But instead of coming forward, this happens quite a bit. It takes a lot of load out of the legs. All right, so we don't want to get smaller in our lunge. We want to stay lifted and tall. And notice my body's not shifting at all. We're lowering down and coming up. That's it. Good. Just lower yourself down and back up. Very nice. Inhale, exhale. So if you're getting heated, which I am, it's because these muscles in our legs are some of the biggest muscles we have. Right, so our biggest muscle group is our quadriceps. Then we've got the glute max, the big muscle of your buns. Right, that muscle is the biggest single muscle. And we're getting them fired up along with that core. Okay, and we're adding resistance, so that's even better. So here we go, last 4. 3, 2, breathe. 1. And step it out. All right, shake that out. Set your weights down carefully. All right, going back down to the mat. So I want you just to crawl yourself back out or just come on down. Okay, so we're going to start again in that little table position. This time I want you to float your knees as best as you can. And if that doesn't work for you, you're going to just put your knees back on the floor. That's just that simple, okay? So turn the toes under and just try to float your knees. Now what that doesn't look like is this. So it's not a down dog. It's just float the knees. I've got space right here, about maybe 3 to 4 inches. All right, so we're just floating. Your core is super solid. I want you to take that right leg and lift it up behind you, just like you did before. Now, if again it's too much, take your knee down and then bring it under and cross it towards your left side. Bring it back to center. Switch sides. So left leg goes up and then we cross it under. You could also do this with your hands elevated on a space, right? So lift the right side, cross it under. You can do this with your knee down or your hands elevated. And lift left, cross under. Right, lift, cross. 4 more, we lift and cross. 3, up and cross under. 2. Last one, and cross it under. Very good. Woo, shake it out. All right, give your little wrist a nice clear. We're coming back up to standing. You can do that however you see fit, whatever works best for you or feels good to get up. Okay, just make sure you do it safely. We're going back into a lunge. Okay, so now, I didn't tell you this before, but you can add a block. So if you have a block nearby, you can use it, but if you're like totally fine doing your lunges on the flat surface, that's okay too. I'm going to elevate the front foot. And it's just going to dig a little deeper into those glutes. Okay, so here we go. So you can have front foot elevated or just keep it on the floor. I'm going to use a block, placing the foot on it and then stepping back. So take a deep breath, lower yourself down, and then bring it up. Okay, inhale. Now on the block, I'm going to go down deeper. Okay, so try to kind of almost create like a negative there. This is going to really work in the glutes and the quads. So if you find it challenging already on the flat surface, just stay there. If you think you want to level it up a little, and take your foot on a block or something else that's elevated. Let's go, last 6. Thought I was going to say 4, didn't you? 5. Okay, now it's 4. 3, ribs in, deep breath. You got it. 2. And last one. Woo, all right. Switch sides. So left leg forward, right leg back. Here we go. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, up. Inhale down. Exhale, up. Check out your shoulders, stacked over your hips, ribs over your hips. Inhale, we're about halfway. Deep breath. Okay, almost there. Come on, now you've got 4. Bring it down. 3, 2, and last one right here, right there. Get that last one in. All right, release it. We go back down to the mat. So you could stay knees to floor, same movement. Okay, knees to floor or float the knees. Hands can be on an elevated surface if you're floating the knees, and that may be helpful as well. Okay, here we go. Float them, kick it back, cross it under. Switch, kick, cross, stop, good, kick, cross, switch, kick, cross, switch, 8, cross, switch, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, Breathing. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo! All right, sit back, circle out those wrists. We're gonna be coming back to standing. Here we go. All right, if you haven't already, feel free, grab some water. Okay, now moving on to some biceps. All right, gotta love some bicep work. Okay, so take your weights again. Shoulders, let's circle them back a few times. So maybe a little heavier on your biceps than you were with your shoulders, just depending on how heavy of a weight you have. All right, we're gonna flip those palms up, flip them out to the sides, and now just curl and bring it down. All the way down and all the way up without moving your elbows. So be mindful that it's not like a swing and a lift of your elbows this way. Good, nice and controlled. Very, very good. Keep those shoulder blades pulled back toward each other. A little activation in your upper back. And that's good for your rotator cuff as well. All right, good. Let's go slow. Bring it up. Now slowly bring it down. So even if your weight's not very heavy, that slowing down really, really works that muscle. So we're getting eccentric contraction. As the muscle's lengthening, we're asking it to do some work. This is how we avoid injury. Okay, so injury like in real life, not just lifting your weights. Okay, because that long, strong muscle is what helps us when we have to stop doing something suddenly. All right, I'll bring it all the way down and rest there for just 1 second. All right, shake it out. Make sure your neck is not tense and your shoulders aren't tense. We're gonna bring those up right at a right angle to the body, right there. Okay? Now I'm just gonna cross. Gonna cross the left side slightly to the right, and then the right side slightly to the left, okay? Now, I want you to bring them down and do the same thing. Here we go. So we go up, bring it down. Up, bring it down. Okay, so I'm just crossing it slightly to the midline. It's like I'm drawing a line right up the center of my body to my sternum to the center of the chest, okay? Not necessarily to the opposite shoulder, okay? So just sweep it to the center. It's called a cross body bicep curl. However, that can be a little deceiving. It is across the body, but sometimes that makes people think we need to go like all the way over here, and you don't. Okay, we're just crossing in, that's all. All right, so let's go for the last 6. 5, keep that elbow down. 4, 3, 2, and last one. There you go, very good. And then come back down. So let's go to the mat now. Taking one weight, we're gonna do some core and triceps while we're on the mat, and then we'll come back. All right, so we're gonna take one weight, one heavy weight. So if you happen to have heavier weights that you don't normally use, this would be a good time to use them. All right, because you're gonna hold it end to end. So as you hold that weight end to end, you'll be on your back. So let's start with the upper body part first. So without letting your arms sway forward or back, you're gonna keep your hands right over your shoulders. Your elbows will stay over your shoulders. As you hinge from the elbow, and as though the bar that's running across your dumbbell could hit you in the crown of your head. That's why it's called a skull crusher. So it's like you're popping that right towards your head, but don't drop it. All right, stop it before it gets there, and then push it back up. All right, so inhale, squeeze those elbows into center. Don't let them come apart. You don't want them moving out to the sides, okay? So inhale, bring it down. Exhale, push it up. Now lift your feet off the mat, engage your core. All right, so adding on to that core, we're gonna drop one foot down and bring it back up. Okay, so every time you move your arms, your legs are moving as well. Then back up. So inhale, exhale. Keep those ribs pulled in. You could take it to both legs right here, down and up. It does not matter what your pattern is so much as just getting the work done with good control, that's all. Okay. So last 4, push it up. 3, good job. 2, 1, and bring it down. All right, roll to the side, set that weight down. Come on back up. We're ready for a second round of biceps. Okay, and even though there's not hopping, moving, a lot of big movements in this workout, sweating. I'm sweating. So grab your weights again. It's because we have got that internal fire stoked up, and moving from movement to movement, even in strength training, can be more of a higher intensity workout. So it does not mean that we are doing something that's low intensity necessarily. We're moving from thing to thing to thing. All right, get ready. We're doing some intervals here. Let's go. We're going to take that out to the sides, lift it up, bring it down. Really pull those shoulder blades back. Keep your ribs drawn in. Core is very active. Deep breath. Exhale. Good job. Now, make sure it's out to the side as much as you can get out there. All right, so it's really about that wide turnout. Okay, activating the upper back. Last 3. 2, deep breath. Last 1. Woo, all right, bring it up. And drop them down for a second. So you can always take a little rest in between if you need to drop them. Otherwise, we'll keep going into that second round. So we're going into that cross body. So it pulls up to the center and back down. I'm feeling it, friends. I'm feeling it. Those biceps and triceps, they haven't gotten worked much this week. For me, took some little breaks. So definitely feeling that pump. Let's go up, bring it down. Curl, blow out the breath. Remember, it does not need to come high. You're just drawing a line up from your belly button to your sternum and bring it back down. There you go. All right, last 4. You've got it. 4, 3, 2. Come on, last 1. Oh, awesome work. Okay, grab that weight again. We're going back to that last move. Ooh, pick it up. Let's start here. So you can go with the alternating legs again or with both knees. Okay, so let's decide what you want to do here. We're going to bend, drop your feet away, and bring it back up. Now, I'm going to, of course, give you an option to add on here, right? So you can slide your legs out and bring them back in. Okay, so inhale, take whichever option works better for you. Deep breath. It's going to add a lot more on the core with the legs straightening out, or you could do one leg at a time straight. So you could still do this. One leg reaches, bring it back in. It doesn't have to stay bent. Pick your poison. We've got 4 more. Okay, inhale. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, very nice. Okay, I'm gonna set that weight off to the side. We're gonna do just a couple more little things. I want you to grab a band if you've got it. We're gonna finish it out nice and strong. Put that band back on. Okay, here we go. So feet are on the mat. You'll be lifting into a bridge position. Okay, so lifting up. Let's just start with a few lifts and lowers. Keeping ribs and hips connected, you're lifting as a unit, meaning you're not kind of dipping down through the low back or overarching or over rounding, just lifting up, lowering down the whole torso, staying connected. Inhale and exhale. Now the next one, I want you to lift up, take weight on your right foot, lift your left leg. Now bring that left knee out to the side and back to center. Out to the side, back to center. You feel that right leg, it's stabilizing. It's anchored over here on the right. You're pulling away from your anchor and your obliques are firing like crazy. So is that right leg and glute. Okay, so keep going. Last 4, 3, 2, last one. And bring that left leg back in, lower it down. Whew. All right, we're gonna take it up one more time. We're going up for that right side. Lift, hold it, lift the right leg up. It's at a 90 degree at the knee and the hip. Open it, close it. Try to keep that left side real steady. Inhale, exhale. You've got it. Let's go. Come on, halfway. And last 3, 2, 1. Very good. Bring it down. This is your last super hoorah right here. Keep the band on if it's there. Hands behind the head. Lift the feet and rotate to a crisscross. Stretch one leg and bend the other. Twist toward the bent knee side. Try not to roll from side to side. We're going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now you can rest. Yes! You can take the band off and you can throw it across the room. Boom. Okay. Take these gloves off. Okay, friends. Go ahead, take a little figure 4 while we're down here. So crossing one leg over the other. Give it a little stretch. Deep breath in. Blow it out. All right, let's take that to the other side. So switching. Just lift that side. Now you can hold on behind the bottom leg, whichever leg is on bottom, hold on to that leg. And you can hold on with both hands or just maybe the same hand. So my right leg is under. I'm going to take it with just my right hand behind the thigh and pull it in toward me a little more. And then I don't feel like I'm straining with that left side. I'm going to push with my left hand into the left leg. Okay, so pulling with the right, pushing with the left because my right is on bottom. Okay, take one more breath. Release it. Take those knees side to side, little windshield wiper. Nice little gentle twist. And then go ahead and come all the way over and back up. We'll flip it over. Take a moment. Find your tabletop. Cat-cow, lift. Lower it down. Exhale, lift. Lower it down. One more. And up. And then turn those toes under again. Pop it back up to a down dog. Stretch. Walk your hands and feet closer together. And slide up and bring yourself up nice and slow. Take a deep breath on the way up. Sweep your arms again, front to back. Sweep your left arm over the head and bend that elbow. Give yourself a pat on the back for showing up, and then you can hold on to that elbow and stretch it a little more. Maybe a little lean. Feels good right there. Come back up. Take that opposite hand and pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a little stretch right here. Pull it in and lean. Come back up to center and release it. Good. Sweep those arms a couple more times, and let's take a big sweep up. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Give yourself a bow. For showing up and for doing something good for you.